Matt, did Micah have the surgery yet, or has that been scheduled?
He is not, no.
Do you know when that's going to be?
I don't know. I know, he's about to have another child here pretty quick, so not that that is going to impact the specific timeline of the surgery, but he's down there dealing with that.
Do you think he'll be able to stick around, or is the rehab such that he has to go somewhere else? Do you want
No, he'll be around, for sure.
Is he going to have the surgery in Dallas?
I cannot confirm that.
Any feel for Zach's availability for this week?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know he's going to fight and try to, but we'll just see. We'll give him the week. We got a lot of guys. This injury list is pretty substantial, so we got a lot of things to figure out over the next couple days.
How's Christian, and what kind of feel do you have for him right now?
Yeah, he's another guy that not quite sure. We'll give him up to game time to see if he can go, and I know it's every one of these guys is going to be fighting to make it by game time.
Is Christian a pain toleration thing? Is that really what it comes down to, or is it?
Well, I think there's some function there as well. Certainly, the pain's a big part of it, but functionality, and he's got to prove that throughout the course of the week.
What was he sent to the hospital for? Because I know it was initially chest and then shoulder.
Yeah, I think our guys do a pretty thorough job of making sure that he checks out A-OK, and thankfully everything checked out good.
So is it a shoulder? Is that what, at this point, what he's on the list?
All of the above.
With Micah, were there any other complications with the injury that might extend the rehab process, or was it a clean ACL?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into the specifics. I just know it was the ACL, my conversations. But as far as the specifics of it, I'm not going to get into it.
So what's your practice plan if you have all these guys hurt? I assume you're not doing anything today or walk through today?
Oh yeah, we'll just walk through. We're just going to walk through, and it's a big mental day. Tomorrow we'll have kind of a modified practice, depending upon how we get out of today, or just getting a gauge where everybody's at. But that's pretty par for the course, I would say, for most teams this time of the year, especially when you're on a short week. You want to get them the plan as quickly as possible, and so they have a time to digest it. And we all know the magnitude of this game. It's going to be a great challenge for us in their house. Just saw them 2 weeks ago, so it should be pretty exciting.
It's obviously never a good time to have these kind of injuries, but when it's so late in the season, what kind of stress does that put on you, the coaching staff, to come up with some sort of plan to make do with what you have?
Yeah, but just like I told the guys, I mean, we feel like we're very capable, but we just got to all work together and kind of roll up our sleeves and take this challenge on. And what an opportunity for other guys to get an op to go out there and perform, and so there's a lot of excitement around that as well.
I know you talked about how you guys self-scout regularly. Do you have to go deeper with that this week, considering you just played Chicago recently, or is that the same?
I'd say it's the same.
Matt, how much have you been? Were the guys in at all yesterday? Or were they totally off yesterday?
They were off. I mean, you know how it is. Guys that are injured, they'll come in, they'll go through treatment. Some guys will come in and get a lift, but as far as just us as the coaching staff seeing the players, that was their player day off.
So how have you seen them kind of go from for lack of a better term, the stages of grief of the disappointment of Micah getting hurt to now kind of getting ready for a really big game and kind of moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, that's life in the National Football League, and it's an unfortunate part of our business. Obviously, like I said the other night, you never want to see anybody get hurt, whether certainly your own players, but even the opposition. So it's an unfortunate part of the game, and you just the show goes on, and you find out that very quickly. And like I said, you got to find a way, and you got to have a good plan, and we got to just kind of bond collectively together and fight through it.
These were all contact injuries except for Micah's. Looking back, was there any other extenuating circumstances that led to so many injuries, or is it just bad fortune?
That's a great question. I think, yeah, I mean, I think football is, there's a lot of variables in the game of football. And, you know, when it's a non-contact, like, there's not much to say about it.
I'm not asking you which part of the playbook he's going to dust off, but obviously you guys had a really good defense last year without Micah. What did you do well that maybe, again, I'm not asking for playbook stuff, but that you
Well,
could
it
kind
sounds
of...
like you are, Bill.
I know, but you were really good last year. What did you do well on defense last year?
Well, you're just going to have to wait and see. No, it's just, yeah, you definitely have some inventory and stuff that we've worked throughout the course of the off-season into training camp. I mean, we didn't get them till right before week 1. So, you know, it just, you gotta kind of dust off some stuff and take a look at and formulate the best plan as you know how. And fortunately, we feel like we have a lot of other very good players that can go out there and execute.
So I will ask for the playbook then, because how much does it help that you didn't get them until August 28th, that you and Jeff were planning your defense to not have them because you didn't know you were going to get them when you did? How much does that help you right now?
I feel like that's a trick question. In regards to, I mean, you're taking a really good player off the field and then, but no, I know. I would say, I mean, it's not foreign to us, I would say, in regards to the scheme. And you're always trying to throw wrinkles in each and every week as well. Some unscouted looks. And I think Half has a great mind and is able to formulate all that stuff and make it simple for our players where they can go out there and execute.
Ben, how do you look at the last 3 series of that game where you actually have a chance, you know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously very disappointing to have opportunities and to not capitalize on them. And I thought our defense did a nice job getting some critical stops at the end, and we just couldn't get enough going offensively.
What was missing? I mean, you obviously feel like you can score in those situations. You've got 2 minutes.
Well, I think you know, when you're down on the road against an elite pass rush like they have, I mean, you're kind of playing into their hands, and they did a good job of going out there and winning in some situations that got us kind of our passing game off rhythm, and either by getting to the quarterback or making a move. Certainly, I know we had a couple busted assignments, which when you're talking about those critical moments, you cannot have. That's when everybody has to be at their absolute best. And we had a busted assignment. We had a penalty. So it makes it that much harder.
The reason I bring it up is because that's a situation you undoubtedly are going to come up against, you know, in the next 3 weeks, and good teams and maybe in the playoffs. Right?
I think every game's a little bit different in regards to how it unfolds. And, you know, unfortunately, that's a good defense, and they got the better of us.
What's it like in a game like that where you prepare all week, you have a plan in place, it involves certain guys, and then that many injuries, it's not like 1 or 2, is it kind of chaotic on the sideline? Or
No, I wouldn't say so. I think that's why, you know, you try to prepare everybody to go in those moments, and certainly you're always making adjustments, whether you have people available or not, or certain things that you're seeing out there on the field. But I'm not saying it doesn't make it easier, but you just kind of work through it, and that's kind of normal for us. So unfortunately, we didn't have enough.
And I think you got 22 snaps out of Lucas Van Ness. What did you think of what he was able to do? What did you think of what Marshon did? And how hopeful are you that those guys are ready to rise to the occasion here?
Yeah, I think those guys are willing to put in the work, and they're going to go out there and battle. I thought Van Ness was definitely a boost for us. It was great to see him back out there, the energy that he played with. I thought he was running hard to the ball. I thought he was playing pretty well. So hopefully we can continue to amp him up. And, you know, I think it's not going to fall just on one guy. It's on the collective. Everybody playing as one, doing their job. And I'm sure, like I said earlier, Half will have some wrinkles.
Kind of along the same lines, Brenton practiced the last couple of weeks, and you know, maybe he'll be ready to go. What would he give you, because he produced pretty well for you guys down the stretch.
He did. He did a really nice job. I thought he was having, good early parts of the year, and unfortunately got injured. But he's been looking good in practice. We'll see what that amounts to over the course of the week.
How significant was what happened with Marshon Lloyd and the hamstring that was added to the injury report?
Yeah, it's one of those things that's very, very, very unfortunate, because this guy has worked his ass off to kind of battle back, and to be in that spot again, it's just, what do you say to him? So we'll continue to investigate and try to figure out why this keeps occurring, but it's certainly unfortunate, and I feel bad. I really do. I feel extremely bad for Marshon.
Is he probably done for the year just because of the timeline coming up?
I'm not going to say no, but I think you can use deductive reasoning on that one.
So what do you expect game planning wise? You just faced their defense a couple weeks ago. Do you expect to see the same, or how do you? It's such an odd thing that you guys are facing. They're facing it too, obviously.
Sure, yeah, it's the same for both. So I'm sure they're going to have some new stuff for us in every phase, and I'm sure we're going to have some new stuff for them. And that's life in the National Football League.
Matt, whenever we ask a quarterback question, you talk about how it's all about all 11, and obviously it is. Jordan's played really, really good football for a lot of this season. Is there another, again, not just because you've lost your star on defense, but is there another level he can get to help you guys as you try to kind of fill that void?
Yeah, I don't think anybody has to go just above and beyond. Everybody's got to do their job, and everybody's got to be dialed in, and then just understanding. And I showed the team this morning, because we didn't see him yesterday, the importance of every play, because you just don't know what play is going to be the difference. There's so many plays throughout the course of a game. When you're playing good football teams, it could be a couple plays that truly make the difference. And there was multiple opportunities, I felt like, from a defensive standpoint, where we had ops to get the ball back, or where we had them in situations. It's third and 13. They just try to get the ball out of their hand. They gain 12 yards. They go for it on 4th and 1 with QB sneak. They extend the drive. They go down and score. So you just don't know what those plays are. Certainly offensively, there was opportunities there as well. We know we can't turn the ball over and against good football teams. So my point is that there's so many plays, and they're all so very important, and you just never know which one's going to make the difference.
Is Evan Williams also in that group that you'll give the week to see how he's doing?
Absolutely.
Did you think Josh came out of it pretty well? Josh Jacobs?
He's battling through. This guy's as tough as they come. So I'll never count him out of the fight, I'll tell you that. But if we were practicing today, absolutely would not practice.
But did you think that your approach last week was probably the right one? He obviously wants to practice all the time, but do you think your approach last week helped?
Yeah, I think it helped. Unfortunately, he got hit pretty early in that contest on one of those short yardage plays, and he battled through it. He gutted it out, and he made some of those plays he made were absolutely incredible in terms of that touchdown reception. Obviously, the 40-yard run, but there was other things in there as well that were pretty remarkable.
Matt, what did you see from Golden? Getting him back in the mix, and how do you think he played?
Yeah, it was great to have him out there. He made a huge impact. Talking about critical plays, drawing a DPI. So it was great to have him back out there into the fold. He showcased what he can do. I thought he maximized his opportunities, and we need to keep trying to find ways to increase those.
With, if Zach Tom can't play, is there any way you can replicate your jumbo offensive line, there, or you're basically out of that personnel if Kennard starts?
There's always a way, Spoon. There's always a way.
Would you consider Morgan at right tackle?
We would consider anything. We'll see. Everything's up in the air, and you guys will have the pleasure of seeing what we do on Saturday night.